Hi, everybody. Welcome to another toy of the day here at Kastor's Corner with your host, Khalil. I just got a new shirt from Brian, so I got to take the sticker off. Thank you, Brian, for our Back to the Future shirt. I love it. I can't wait to wear it out at some point when I get to go out places. So I had a bunch of toys in the office because we did a podcast with our friends at Adventures in Collecting about top 10 of the year. And so I thought I'd kind of go through a couple of those over the next week or so, maybe before they leave the room, before they leave the office space. And so I'm not going to tell you kind of where something falls. And this is a group of figures. So growing up, my dad loved WWF. I know it's WWE now, but he loved it. And we would go to matches. And because we were so close to New York and where WWE is headquartered, we'd go to high school gyms and see like the dark matches and meet everybody. And if I remember correctly, at some point, my dad gave me over to Tito Santana and had me carried to the ring when I was like 3. I think there's a picture of it somewhere. So I have really great memories with that. And when he passed away, I stopped watching wrestling, but as a way to reconnect or a way to feel close, Brian, fitting that I'm wearing the shirt, Brian and I got back into wrestling. And it was around the time that The Rock was really taking off. And Chris Jericho and The Rock and Triple H and Stephanie and the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys, like it was that post-attitude era. Stone Cold really wasn't around until like when I started to started to get out of it. But there is some nostalgia for that. And I love the team behind the WWE at Mattel. They've done a great job, Steve, over there, working on it and seen some really great products come out of it. And because of that, I thought it would be really cool to have a couple in my collection. And earlier this year, actually one of the first couple figures of the year that I bought, I went on a hunting trip with my niece and we had a great day. Went out looking for wrestlers and we came back with wrestlers. These are the belts. Actually, this belt made me buy this belt, to be honest with you. So without further ado, let's show off some of the toys. So I saw that, I think these are the Elite. I'm sorry, I don't remember all the scales. I know there's a basic and I think the Elite and then the Ultimates. And so Lita was one of my favorite wrestlers when she started in WWE. I definitely had a crush on her. I definitely went to meet her, stood in line at a mall and meet her. I thought she was really pretty, but I also thought it was really fun to watch the acrobatics. It was something you didn't really see growing up in WWE. It was kind of like the acrobatics weren't necessarily there that I could remember. So I always had fun watching her and the Hardy Boys. I really loved them. So when I heard there was a Lita figure, I had to get it. So we have 2 versions of her. So you get this costume with an alternate head. So you can have her with or without her bangs. I'll kind of try to. So you can have Lita with the bangs, Lita without the bangs. I prefer this one. This is my favorite on that. And she came with fists. So you can have her punch and kick and do her flips. And I actually bought a WWE ring too, just to do pictures with these guys. The Rock picture from the beginning of the year was really one of my favorites. Yeah, spoiler, I'm going to talk about him too. So she comes with closed fists too. So you've got the open hands and the closed fists. So I thought it was pretty good. I was really happy with that. When I picked her up, they also had this version of The Rock. And I found out from Eric and Dave last night that this version is from the Royal Rumble / WrestleMania. So it's later Rock. So he doesn't have any hair, shaved head, and the tribal tattoos. So that kind of sets him apart from early days Rock when I started watching. And he came with the WWE belt. He came with a few extra hands. He comes with the Bring It hand. Let's see if we can pop that out. So you can get you can get the famous poses in. If I'm telling you to just bring it. He can make fun of John Cena if he wants to. So I really liked this version. I liked that he was in his gear. I liked it. He's missing a hand. I should give him back his hand. He's in his wrestling gear. So you can definitely pose him in the ring. You can pose him coming down. It's match ready. I would have liked like a tank top or something, or the sweatpants. One of my first customs, I swapped a head on an old Rock figure to kind of give the look I wanted, because he had the Just Bring It shirt and the Adidas track pants. But I didn't like the head, so I swapped heads. So that's one of the first Rock figures, first customs I ever did. But I really like this version. It was updated. I really like the articulation. It's really solid for a figure. I thought it was a really good value for the price. I think I paid $14.99 for them. I think they were on sale, so really up the value. Even at $20, I thought it was enough with the extra hands and the belt and everything. And then if I was going to have The Rock, since I'm a fan of that era, I had to have Triple H. And I know they've got the modern Triple H with the bald head and the beard and everything, but this is the Triple H for me that goes with The Rock. And so I got this ultimate version of him. Now, this one is a little more hollow, a little softer. Maybe not softer, but you could definitely tell the difference between, like, this feels like all plastic and this feels like there's a lot of joints in there. So you can really move him. You got a lot of posability with this Triple H. It reminds me more of an import figure, SH Figure Arts or MayFX, kind of a little more hollow, a little more parts on the inside, mechanics on the inside, making him more posable. So this version of Triple H comes with 2 different heads. So you get the entrance screaming head, and you also get the slicked back hair Hunter, and this one kind of pairs with the the old school hat, the Kango hat. He comes with the chainmail top. He comes with his signature sledgehammer. And of course, if you're going to have Triple H, you need to have a water bottle, because, you know, what entrance for Triple H is there without the water bottle? And then you have the taped hands. You have extra hands. So you've got all the different taped hands. So there's 2, 4. So a total of 6 hands. So you've got the gripping hands, you've got the open hands, you've got some of the punching hands. So I lucked out for whatever reason. Target, when these first came out, when he first got released, didn't have him in the system, and the guy at the register didn't care. So they gave him to me for, I think, $7 or $5. So I lucked out. It was Target's loss. It's one of those rare cases where the collector wins. Because they couldn't find it in the system and they just didn't care. So he's got a lot more articulation. The feet move. He's got the toe articulation, knees, mid boot cuff. So it's good. It poses really well. So it's nice to have these wrestlers in. So between The Rock and Triple H and Lita, at some point I found Ronda Rousey too. I thought they did a really good job with the arm swaps and stuff. There's a point where I may or may not go back and get some of the classic guys like Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon and the Warrior and Hogan at some point, just to kind of go along with these guys. But I'm not sure, just because I don't know where to put them. They end up in a box and I don't really have space for them, but I still have a fondness because I shared the original guys with Dad and we really got into wrestling. And then it came back around with Brian, and that was a really special time for me to spend that time with Brian and connect with him, because the way I connected with Dad. And so my favorite time was a house show that we got to see in Hartford when The Rock and Stone Cold went off, trying things out for Raw the next night. And they were singing and dancing around and joking around, doing moves and stuff for like half an hour, just trying stuff out after the match was over. So these connect to a real big memory for me. And I know it's supposed to be Toy of the Day, not Memory of the Day, but I think that's what toys do for us. They kind of bring those memories out. They recreate those. They give you a tangible thing to reconnect to moments in your life. At least for me, it does. So I'm really appreciative to have these, to kind of have those memories back, or to look back on those. So I know these are a little bit older. They came out at the beginning of the year, middle of the year. So they might be harder to track down, but I'm going to tell you they're definitely worth it. They're some of the favorite figures in my collection. And it's easy for me to put hands on them because I don't have so many. So it's not like I'm digging through 10 things. I know exactly where these guys are. So thanks for watching. Remember to follow us on all media. We're back with a new podcast next week. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. I think day 18, maybe 17, 18. I don't remember what. I'm just lost track, which is great because I'm just going to keep going. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.